Oh well, if you've made it to the end, then you've watched this boring video. Okay, I need your opinion on this oil, on if I should change it or not. Can you see that? Well, yeah, you can see through the oil and see the ad, where the ad letters there. So this oil was last changed about a year and a half ago. I've only got 68 hours on this oil change. I was going to change it, but after looking at it, yeah, I know oil should be changed at least every 12 months, but that oil looks okay to me. As I said, it's been about a year and a half, maybe a year and, yeah, about a year and a half. 68 hours is all I've put on the tractor since it was changed, so I think I'm going to let it go, at least through the season. This tractor, we're doing mostly no-till, so this tractor does not get used much. Of course, it did not do any snow plowing this year, so I think I'm going to just use it through the spring and then maybe change it this summer. That's what I think I'm going to do, unless you all tell me otherwise. And then I may not listen to you. All right, so as you saw, I just changed the oil filters. So, I mean the hydraulic filters. Let's see how many hours I have here so I can write them down for my records. 4,971 hours. I have said for the last 20 or 30 years that we cannot push all of our high school kids into college because, you know, the world does need ditch diggers, and I am proving that here today. I am digging ditches today. Yes, the world needs ditch diggers. This underneath of here is a 6,000 gallon tank that we store our nitrogen in. This has been here, oh my gosh, 40 years probably, at least that. And through the years, these poles have started to rot out. We've replaced a couple of them around here. Well, it finally got to the point that I needed to replace this end. The boards going across here, this is where the steps were going up for me to get on top of there to load and unload this tank. These boards had started to rot, so I thought I could get away with just replacing this one section here. That pole there had rotted, so I've pulled that out. I'm going to put a new pole in. But no, as I got into it and I get down to this pole, I guess I'm going to go ahead and replace that because the boards on the end of here have rotted out and nothing is attached. So I have continued digging down here, and it looks like I've got to replace this pole as well. All right, so I'm going to yank this pole up, put a new pole there in its place. I've got some recycled wood here on the truck. It looks like this came from a pier because of the way the length these boards are cut. I don't know, or it could have come from a deck. Yeah. So these boards are going to work for what I'm doing. So I'm just gonna work on this a little bit each day at the end of the day until I can get it done. You know, I'm fat and lazy, so there's only about 7.5 minutes of physical labor that I can actually do before I'm tired and ready to sit down and have an adult beverage. Hey, it looks like my daughter found a lawn boy for the summer. Now all she needs is a pool boy. Oh wait, I guess she needs a swimming pool first. Somebody was feeling good the day they dug that hole. That pole was in the ground 5 feet at least. Hold on, let's put a mark. Let's measure it here. 4.5 feet. Good gosh. Can we see China down there? Yep. Hello, China. Hello, China. I was putting a lot of pressure on that thing to pull it out of there. Didn't think it was coming out, but now I see why. The lawn boy is not going to be happy with me leaving tracks in the yard, but I just couldn't help it. That's just the nature of the beast. Okay, I've said before, I'm not a carpenter. I know just enough to get by and be dangerous. So what I'm going to do with this new pole, the ends of these boards have rotted off a little bit. So I'm going to find a 2x8 or 2x10 and screw to this pole so it comes out this way, and then that gives me enough to nail these boards onto so I don't have to replace them, because otherwise the boards are okay. So by putting a 2x8 or a 2x10 on here, I'll have more than just this 1.5 inch, 1.75 inches to screw these boards to, and then the ones coming from this side meeting here. So I think I'll do the same thing here. Put a 2x8, 2x10, whatever I have on there. So where these boards meet, I have more to screw to and just more to bite and more to hold. We have the lumber here, so it's not like I have to go out and buy it. Although I don't have a 2x10, just 2x8s, but I'll find a good one and put up there. All right, I guess the next part of this is going to my local hardware store and getting some sackcrete so I can plant these poles and get them leveled up. So I guess on my way down, it's almost 5 o'clock now, so I guess on my way down here tomorrow, I'll stop at that great hardware store and get 4 or 5 bags of sackcrete so I can put in these holes and get those posts planted. I haven't figured out what I'm doing here yet. I don't think I can pull that pole out because it's rotten pretty bad already. I think what I'll do is just dig a hole right down beside this pole and plant a new post right beside it, and then I can come in here and screw these boards right to that post, and that should do what I needed to do without a whole lot of work, because as I said, I can't handle manual labor. I'm scared of it, so that's the least amount of labor involved. As I said earlier, we replaced a couple of these poles here, a couple of boards there, and then on this back side, these 2 poles, and looks like all of these boards were replaced. And nothing on this side other than 1 pole here replaced. The boards we have not replaced. So if I fix it up and it lasts another 15 years, that'll about, well, I hope to retire before then, but then my daughter can worry about it. But before 15 years, everything will be electric. We'll even have electric fertilizer. There will be no more liquid nitrogen that we'll be putting on fields. It'll all be electric or renewable energy from the sun. So she's not even going to have to worry about this. Just let it fall into disrepair and fill the tank in or pull the tank out or do whatever. Okay, I think I'm going to clean my tools up because the rain is here and I don't think it's going to stop. But in case we get a gully washer, at least I've got the first two boards on, so if water runs down and fills that in with dirt, that will be okay. But that's what I'm doing here. I'm going to cut these off once I get the boards up. I'll cut everything off to where I want it. I added a 2x4 on this end just to get these boards have a little more to screw onto there because the ends were a little bit soft. And I found my 2x10 here. Actually, I believe it was a 2x12. Let's see. Yep, 2x12. So I put on that one because all of the boards just on the end were rotten. So that has given me enough to come back here to the good wood and straighten that up. What I'm going to do once, as you can see, there's some plastic down in the bottom. So when we originally did this, we had plastic all up against here so that moisture wouldn't stay up against there with that dirt and rot these boards as quick. So I'm going to find something else. My neighbor gave me some roof underlayment, so that might work here. And I think the roll it's wide enough. Not sure if it's long enough to do this whole wall, but that's my game plan, is to put something against here before I fill it back in with dirt. Okay, let me get my tools cleaned up before I really get wet. Well, okay, I guess this thing was not level all the way across. I have those boards level across here, but I guess it wasn't level here, so we've got a little notch here where it didn't quite meet up evenly, but that's okay. I cut this pole off a little bit taller only to give this water hose something to rest on, so I'm going to get a clamp of some type and put down on here to hold this in place. Okay, let me go find my paper, plastic, whatever, to go back behind here, and then I can start filling everything in. Okay, that wasn't enough. Because that would work great. All right, I guess I'm going to my local hardware store to find something to finish this up. Maybe some tar paper. That might do the job. I've taken the old rotten pole that was on this corner here. I just broke it off at the ground. I dug a hole next to it, because if it was like that pole and was 5 feet in the ground, I was never getting this one out because it was too rotten on the top for me to yank it out. So I've just dug down next to that pole, put another post in here. I've got the skid loader here up against this. This wall is leaning out from the top that way a little bit. So I've put some pressure on this post to push it in as much as I can, but you know, without digging everything out on the inside to get it right, there's not much more I can do. So I'm filling the hole with concrete now and getting that post set. Then I'll come on the inside here, put some screws all the way down here, and get everything attached there. And then that corner should be good. Still looking for some tar paper to finish this thing off so I can start filling the dirt in. The world needs more ditch diggers. All right, I'm not going to fill this corner in yet. I'm going to give that a day to settle up. I'm going to leave that skid steer against that pole there until the concrete dries. Then I'll come back and finish this, well, tomorrow's Sunday, so not tomorrow. So next week, and I'll have to get some more dirt put on top of here. I want to make sure this dirt goes right to the ledge there, so the water, when it rolls off, it rolls over the edge, not down inside of here. So yep, this project is darn near complete. Now the steps, I don't really want to put those back, but I don't have the lumber to make some new steps, so I may put those back temporarily. I just don't like the steps. There's too many steps. I need to cut it back to about 3 steps to come up here. That's just too many steps to get up here. So I'll get some lumber that I need to build some steps. That'll be interesting. I won't put that on camera because that will take me a while to figure that one out. Well, I'm going to clean up my mess here. Take that down to the burn pile, put those boards back in the barn, put all my tools away. And I think I can wrap this video up. Wasn't that interesting, but hey, it's a video for those of you that want to waste your time watching it. Hey, unlike the video I watched the other day from, was it One Happy Farmer? I think it was. It wasn't Grumpy Farmer. One Happy Farmer? I think it was One Happy Farmer. And he warned us right in the title, this is going to be a boring video. And guess what? I sat through 7.5 minutes watching the boring video. But, oh well, if you've made it to the end, then you've watched this boring video or you've watched the video. Okay, that's enough of me rambling. So I'm going to say, see ya!